Welcome everybody to another Pokemon VGC team build. It's me, Ketsu, and today we are looking at a few teams that have done very well throughout the course of Regulation H. Now, Regulation H is coming back for a little bit of time when the 2026 season starts up in the end of August or start of September, and of course we have a few teams that we can go by because of course we've gone through Regulation H before. Regulation J is starting I believe around November-ish, so we have a little bit of time between September and November to just get to grips with Regulation H again, just to, you know, get a feel for things and get ready to come back for Regulation J. So within that time frame, everybody still has time to get points and stuff, so we're going to be looking at a few teams today that have done exceptionally well, or teams that I think that are very good, as well as looking at a few Pokemon that are going to be making a comeback throughout Regulation H. We've not seen a few of these Pokemon come through for a very long time just because of power creep and restricted, and we might not see them again in Regulation J because of the mythicals as well coming out. So it's a good time to try and get back into these Pokemon and back into these teams again. So it's going to be a doozy, and I'm very excited to see these teams again. This is going to be very fun. But of course, if you enjoyed this type of content and want to see more of it, let me know by leaving a like down below and maybe hitting that subscribe button. It helps me out a ton. But we're going to be talking about the first team today, and this is the team that I believe got either won or got second place at the Baltimore Regionals. It's been a minute, so I don't remember the placement of this team, but I know this team did very well, at least top 4. And this was to do with a Rain team featuring Archaludon and Basculegion. So Rain is going to be a very useful thing here because Pelipper is still going to be around. You still have a very good, you know, Rain ability here. The only Sun thing that you have now that Groudon and Koraidon is going to be gone for a while is going to be Torkoal, so Sun's going to go down in usage a little bit. So Rain's pretty much going to be your go-to factor for weather. So Pelipper is going to be seen a lot more than what you would think, and it's going to be really nice here. So we're going to start off things here with the Incineroar with the safety goggles to stay clear of Amoonguss. Safety goggles again, it's going to surge up in usage all over again. It's going to be quite nice. The Terra Ghost as well, since again we are not dealing with Shadow Rider Calyrex, so we have a bit more leeway here to go into Terra Ghost to ignore these fake outs, which is quite nice. And then of course we've got the fake out Flare Blitz, not a parting shot. The Incineroar set has not changed. The Incineroar set has pretty much not changed like at all. It's pretty much the same thing. Fake out of course is going to stay there. Parting shot, knock off Flare Blitz, it again pretty much doesn't leave. Incineroar's pretty much been the bread and butter. The only key difference here is the Terra typing. Instead of going into Terra Bug, you've got Terra Ghost now, because again Calyrex is just not going to be here anymore, so you've got a bit more leeway, which is quite nice. The EV spreads here are just exactly how it is on the team, so if you guys want to copy this verbatim, you absolutely can do. But if you want to experiment with Incineroar, you can of course not do it like this, and you could do it something similar. But of course, if you want this team verbatim, you can use these EV spreads here. Next up is the Pelipper with the Focus Sash, again going into Terra Ghost, Hurricane, Weather Ball, Tailwind, Protect. You're not going to see much of things like Wide Guard. It might come around here and there, but Wide Guard is going to be more so for things like, for example, Expanding Force, since that's going to be kind of a thing to go for now. Side Spam is going to come back up in usage as well. But the Weather Ball, Tailwind, Hurricane slot here for Pelipper is pretty much going to be the way to go. Pelipper not exactly being the most sturdiest of Pokemon, you're going to want that Focus Sash as well. Some run Covert Cloak, so you can immediately get things going off with the Tailwind. Some run Mental Herb sometimes, just to, you know, steer clear of those Encores or Taunts from pranksters like Whimsy. And the Terra Ghost is also fine. You've got things like Terra Grass as well. Terra Grass could also be good because, again, you might be weak to fire, but you always set up the rain, so you kind of nerf fire in that aspect as well, so it's not too bad. So Ghost or Grass, both of which are pretty cool here. So yeah, Pelipper's going to be quite a nice pick here. Basculegion as well with the Mystic Water, Swift Swim, going to Terra Water, Protect, Wave Crash, Aqua Jet, and Last Respects. Basculegion's role here is going to be more so for a late game sweeper. There are times where you would see maybe a Choice Band on Basculegion, which can do a lot higher damage. Sometimes you might see like a Flip Turn as well. It might work as like your pseudo Urshifu for this regulation, which is quite nice. The Swift Swim being able to double your speed as well, so this thing just becomes an absolute dominant late game sweeper, which is quite nice. It just hits like a brick. It hits like a brick house. Last Respects, of course, is really good for late game, and Wave Crash just hits like a brick whenever the rain is up. So you've got really good aspects here. So we do like Basculegion. I'm happy to see Basculegion back. It's one of my favorites from Legends Arceus. I love Basculegion. It's so cool. Then there's the Amoonguss with the Citrus Berry going to Terra Water, Spore, Rage Powder, Pollen Puff, Clear Smog. Clear Smog again is going to see a bit more of a resurgence because you've got things like Dondozo that's going to come back. Dondozo is going to see so much more of a resurgence now because you've just got all of these other factors here. So get ready for your Clear Smogs, for your Hazes, because they are going to shine out a lot in this regulation. It is going to be very clear that this is the way to go to for this regulation. It's not going to be pretty for Dondozo. We have the Mousehold with the Wide Lens going into Terra Grass, Population Bomb, Follow Me, Taunt, and Protect. I love Mousehold. Mousehold is like one of the first Pokemon that I wanted to try out for Regulation H again. I love Mousehold. Population Bomb is just, for me, it's a funny move just to see it like kind of dwindle down over and over again. It's so funny, it's so hilarious to me. I love Mousehold for this. I think it's an absolutely favorite. It's honestly one of my favorite moves in Scarlet and Violet. I love mouse hold. And to see it come back is going to be so fun. It's going to be such a fun play to see here. And honestly, Population Bomb, I cannot wait. I really cannot wait. And of course, we have the Archaludon. You can't run Rain without Archaludon. It kind of goes hand in hand here, especially when there's no restricted, especially when there's no Urshifu as well. So this is going to be quite nice as well. With that Assault Vest, going into Terra Grass with the Stamina, Electro Shot, Dragon Pulse, Flash Cannon, Body Press. That is the standard for Archaludon as well. Electro Shot being able to get you a +1 every single time you use it, but if it's raining, you fire off a shot immediately. So it's basically like a kind of buffed up Meteor Beam. You don't have to waste an item for it. You just need the rain with Pelipper. It's quite easy there. Then you've got the Dragon Pulse, Flash Cannon, and Body Press as well to run with that stamina boosting. So again, there's been times where it's like someone can use like Population Bomb on Archaludon, it goes to like +6 immediately, and Body Press can just like one shot pretty much everything that's either bulky, resisted, or immune. It pretty much knocks out everything else. Like a +6 Body Press on something so bulky like on Archaludon, it is not pretty. Like, it's not pretty to get hit by this thing. You want to get hit by this thing like you want to hit this thing as fast as humanly possible, and hopefully with a special attacking move at that, because if you hit this thing with a physical attacking move, it's only a matter of time before he sweeps you. It is not pretty. Next up is the Louisville Regional. I believe, again, this is either the second place or the first place winning team. Definitely top 4. I can't remember the placements, but it's definitely a high tier team that came up in the Louisville Regional a few years ago or last year, and it is very, very cool. I'm very, very excited to see this, and it is a Trick Room variant of this. It's somewhat of a Trick Room variant. So we have the Porygon 2 with the Eviolite. Porygon 2, again, is going to be seeing a lot more usage here. Going into Terra Ground. Terra Ground is going to be a very nice Terra typing here for Porygon 2. It's just a very nice offensive typing to go for here. And you've got the download as well, which is able to get you a +1 attack or +1 special attack depending on who you are looking at on your side of the field. So if you can time this right and you can aim this correctly, you can get a +1 off of Porygon 2, and it becomes this super bulky, super slow in Trick Room, super aggressive just pick here that can just pretty much delete a lot of things in like 2, maybe 3 goes. It's quite the spectacle. It's really, really cool. Terra Blast, Ice Beam, Recover, and Trick Room. This thing's goal is basically never leaving the field. This thing's goal is literally come in and never leave. That is the whole point of Porygon 2, and we are all for it for Porygon. Porygon 2 is going to see so much stocks rising. Like, get your Porygon 2 stocks. It's going to be insane. We have the Focus Sash Sneasler with the Poison Touch going into Terra Flying, Close Combat, Diaclaw, Coaching, and Protect. Sneasler again coming back into Resurgence here because Sneasler is going to be an absolute dominant beast. The Diaclaw as well is going to come back. A lot of people's going to hate this. I'm 50-50 because I'm also one of those people that would potentially use Sneasler, but at the same time, I don't want to get hit by it. So hypocritical, yeah, sure, but like I love clicking it, hate getting hit by it because the chances of getting, you know, paralyzed, put to sleep, or poisoned is just absolutely insane. And of course, on top of that, you also can get not only Poison Touch, but you can also get Unburden as well. Unburden being able to double your speed if you use an item, which can be really easily used with things like Grassy Seed on Rillaboom. There's just a lot of factors you can do with Sneasler. Like, it's no joke. Like, it is absolutely no joke. This thing can hit like a brick house, and this thing can be very, very annoying with that Diaclaw if you're not paying attention. It's no joke. It's very, very insane. We have the Goldengo with the Life Orb going into Terra Water, Make It Rain, Shadow Ball, Nasty Plot, Protect, Standard stuff for Goldengo. Goldengo is also going to come back. Another one of my favorite Pokemon from Gen 9. It's going to be super cool. I am very, very excited to see the Nasty Plot, Make It Rain Goldengo back. It's going to be very, very fun here. Again, with the Amoonguss going into Terra Fairy this time, as long as you get a good defensive Terra on Amoonguss, I got tongue-tied there for a second. It's pretty much going to be a dominant threat. Like, Amoonguss has been good in, you know, Regulation H, Reg I. It's probably going to be good in Reg J. Amoonguss is just great. Amoonguss is just an absolutely good Pokemon in VGC. It's such a good Pokemon, honestly. We have the Garchomp with the Clear Amulet going into Terra Fire, Earthquake, Something Tantrum, Dragon Claw, Protect. That is the standard set for Garchomp here. Garchomp again is going to come back since, you know, Ice Ride is not going to be there. There's not really a threatening Ice type right now. So you've got kind of that open ground for Garchomp to kind of come in and be like, yep, I'm here. No Ice types can really hit me like that. You might see 1 or 2 techs here with an Ice type, maybe like again with the Porygon 2 with the Ice Beam, but otherwise, you won't really see like a pure Ice-type Pokemon coming in to threaten Garchomp. It's more or less Ice Beam on a Porygon 2 or something like an Icy Wind on somebody else. But Clear Amulet blocks that anyway, so Garchomp's here to stay. And then finally, again, is the Incineroar, Safety Goggles, Terra Ghost, Flare Blitz, Knockoff, the Fake Out Parting Shot. Again, this pretty much will be your standard set for Incineroar here. Next up, we're going to be talking about the essentially main Trick Room variant here, which features Hatsui and Lilligant, obviously Indeedee, Hatterene. It's going to be a very good team here. Trick Room, again, is going to be still really, really good. Like, Trick Room's not really come off here. Trick Room's going to be amazing. Like, I think Trick Room is going to be a very, very good, you know, archetype to go for here. If a lot of people don't really know what archetype to go for, Trick Room is pretty much your best bet. It's really, really good because, again, Torkoal is just an absolute beast on the field. And, of course, with that Hatsui and Lilligant, you can run it inside a Trick Room and outside a Trick Room because of that disgusting After You ability, being able to take whatever Pokemon it chooses to move straight after it, and Lilligant being probably one of the fastest, if not the fastest Pokemon when the sun is up. Torkoal's going to get Eruption basically for free, which is nuts, which is absolutely insane. So you don't even need to rely on Trick Room for Torkoal to go like absolutely ballistic like that. So yeah, again, we got the Focus Sash going into Terra Ghost to avoid the fake out, because again, Lilligant needs that full HP for Focus Sash to, you know, be able to get used here. Triple Axle after you close combat Sleep Powder. So even if that's the case and you don't want Torkoal to attack, or you want Torkoal to switch out in case there's like rain, you've got Sleep Powder here on another on Lilligant. Lilligant's going to be annoying. Lilligant is going to be very, very annoying here. Like, it is going to be a pain to deal with. It is going to be nuts. We have the Hatterene with the Covert Cloak going into Terrifier as well. Dazzling Gleam, Expanding Force, Trick Room, and Mystical Fire. Mystical Fire getting boosted with the Terrifier as well. Expanding Force because we've got Side Spam, especially when Trick Room is up and active. Hatterene being one of the slowest Pokemon that you can potentially get. I think it's just about slow. I think it's almost as slow as Torkoal, which is absolutely insane. So again, you've got the combination of just Torkoal and Hatterene coming at you at once. Yeah, it's not pretty. It's not going to be pretty. Like, there's not really much besides other Hatterene and other Torkoal that can like outspeed you in Trick Room. It's going to be rough. It's going to be a very rough one to fight against these two once Trick Room is up. Yeah, it's not pretty. Ursaluna is still going to be here. Terra Ghost is still going to be a thing. We've seen Ursaluna before. Facade, Headlong Rush, Earthquake, Protect. We've seen the same thing for Ursaluna here. Not really much of a difference. Indeedee, same thing. Not really much of a difference here besides the Terra Dragon, because it's more of like elemental damage, which isn't too bad. But Terra Fairy is still fine. Like Terra Water is still fine. You've got all these other moves that are still fine for the most part, but Indeedee doesn't really change here. Torkoal with the Flame Play, or some people use Charcoal, some people even throw out a Choice Specs with Terrifier as well. Eruption, Weather Ball, Heat Wave, Protect. Again, you've got, as long as there's like an item there that kind of boosts up your damage, you could potentially run the Life Orb, but nobody really runs the Life Orb because Eruption. So Flame Play, Charcoal, you know, Choice Specs, as I said before. All three of those items are really, really good for Torkoal there. Like, it is absolutely insane. It's a really good thing for Torkoal to have here. Like, Torkoal's going to be great. And then finally is Gallade with Clear Amulet with the Sharpness ability going into Terra Grass. Psycho Cut, Sacred Sword, Trick Room, and Wide Guard. Sacred Sword to, you know, counter things like Arcaladon, which, you know, Arcaladon's not going to like. Wide Guard as well to stop opposing Hatterenes or opposing Torkoals from doing spread moves. This team is just very well rounded. This team is very, very well rounded. You've got a really, really good speed option in Lilligant. You've got like really bulky options in Ursaluna. You've got sweepers like Torkoal and Hatterene. And then you've got your techs here with Gallade and your support with Indeedee. This team is just really, really well rounded. And then this is I want to say this is essentially like your balance option, but this is more essentially like a more of offensive option. It's a really, really good way to make offensive. It's a really, really good way to, you know, take advantage of the more faster Pokemon that we don't get to see anymore, like Sneasler, like Dragapult. Dondozo's still going to be here. Again, like we said, Dondozo's stocks are going to go up, not just with Tatsugiri, but on its own as well. It's going to be quite a threat. So again, we got the Sneasler with the Focus Sash going to Terra Ghost with Poison Touch, Fake Out, Diaclaw, Close Combat, Protect. Another reason why Sneasler is going to be such a threat here, because it's got Fake Out. The fact that you stack that with Poison Touch as well means that, like, not only does Fake Out get there, that means that you have a 30% chance of poisoning with a Fake Out, which is just absolutely ballistic and absolutely insane here, which I cannot get over how freaking broken that could be. And Diaclaw as well, just being an absolute pain in your side. It's just, Sneasler is going to be such a threat, honestly. We've got the Choice Band Dragapult with Clear Body, being able to stay clear of things like Intimidate, which is great. Going into Terra Dragon, Dragon Dance, Phantom Force, U-Turn, Outrage. So again, Dragapult is going to be very, very good here. The Ghost typing is absolutely amazing. You're just immune to Fake Out already. Dragapult's going to be great. Like, again, Dragapult's going to be back. I like Dragapult. Dragapult was cool. One of my favorite pseudo legendaries of all time. I think Dragapult is going to be absolutely amazing here. And it's just a blitzing tank. Like, look how fast this thing is. 258 speed is just, it's insane, dude. Look how fast this thing can go. Then we've got the Dondozo with the leftovers going into Terra Poison with the Unaware ability. Wave Crash, Yawn, Fissure, and Protect. Of course, Dondozo is going to bring back the one-click delete button with Fissure. So get ready to see a lot of Fissures off of Dondozo. It might not hit all the time, but it hits most times. Like, 30% of the time, it hits every time. Like, it's absolutely insane, dude. Like, Dondozo is going to be an absolute threat again. Like, it's nice to see all of these Pokemon that have, like, kind of just vanished thanks to Regulation I kind of come back and make a resurgence. And like, I forgot how much pressure that things like Sneasler, Dondozo, Mousehole, I forgot the pressure that all of these guys can do. Like, these guys are threatening when there's no power creep like that. It is absolutely insane. Of course, we have the Rillaboom with the Assault Vest, Terra Fire, Fake Out, Woodhammer, Grassy Glide. This time high horsepower, not U-turn, but high horsepower. You can still run U-turn if you still want to, but high horsepower is there. You've got a bit more openness here because of Rillaboom. You've got, yeah, you're a bit more open because terrain isn't exactly something that you want to take advantage of like that. The terrain is pretty much going to be a war between Rillaboom and Indeedee now because Miraidon's going to disappear, so that's also quite nice there. So you don't essentially need to focus so much on U-turns. Again, you absolutely can, you just don't need to put that much emphasis on U-turns, which is, again, a really, really nice factor there. Volcarona as well with the Covert Cloak, Terra Fairy, Heat Wave, Quiver Dance, Terra Blast, and Protect. So again, Volcarona is still here to stay. You can run Quiver Dance set, you can run a supportive set with Rage Powder and Tailwind, and again, Volcarona again just has so much more capabilities as well. Like, Volcarona is great. I love Volcarona. It's just a great Pokemon, honestly. It is really, really good. And Flame Body still being just a massive threat, regardless of what regulation you're in. Like, this thing is going to be a threat still to this day. And then there's Electabuzz. So Electabuzz and Magmar can still come back as well. These two are going to, again, are just going to be great again, because of the Eviolite and being able to have Vital Spirit. So Amoonguss doesn't really hit it with Spore, because again, not really, the only Pokemon now that has electric terrain is Pincurchin. I'm going to be real with you, nobody's using Pincurchin. So the fact that we're going to see, something like Electabuzz and Magmar with Vital Spirit back means that there's another, counter against Amoonguss, which is absolutely amazing. You need the counters against Amoonguss. Amoonguss is going to be one of those really threatening Pokemon that you need to stay clear of. So again, really, really good take there. The Terra goes as well to stay clear of Fake Outs, Thunderbolt, Follow Me, Taunt, and Protect. You do have, I believe you have Electro Web. Yes, you have Electro Web. You've got a few good moves here. You've got Electro Web, which is quite nice. If you really want to go crazy with it, you can go Thunder. I wouldn't recommend it though. You've got T-Wave if you want to be brave with it. You've got Volt Switch, which is quite nice. Quick Attack if you want to pick off any Focus Sash Pokemon. You've got some tech there for Electabuzz. You've got some good techs. But now I want to talk about Pokemon that are going to make a bit more of a resurgence that we've not seen previously, or at least not seen so much so previously. So Archaludon's going to be the first one. My first initial pick was that Archaludon's going to be back because, again, Rain is still going to be here to stay, and Rain's going to be the more dominant weather because, again, the only thing you have is Torkoal. So Archaludon's going to be great here. The Assault Vest set is great. Some people, transition to use the Power Hub, so Electroshock can still happen, even though you don't need to focus on Rain so much. So you've got the Power Hub, Electroshot still get +1. Some people might throw in like a leftovers to make this thing like stupidly bulky, but I personally love the Assault Vest set. I think Assault Vest is absolutely amazing. I love Assault Vest Archaludon. I think it's absolutely great. You've got a few good Terras here for Archaludon. You could go Terra Fairy, you could go Terra Grass, you could even go Terra Water if you want to. I think Archaludon does have a lot of good plays here. Like, Archaludon is just an absolute great Pokemon, and I absolutely love Archaludon. Especially now that I've got an excuse to use him again, I absolutely love Archaludon here. It's going to be so, so good, especially with that weather coming back as well with Pelipper. Thank God Pelipper's still here to stay. But speaking of weather, not just rain and sun are here to stay for the most part, but now we also get an even chance of having sand and snow. We'll get to Ninetales in a minute, but again, I'm going to be a massive fan of T-Tar. I love T-Tar. I love running the sand. Like, if I was to choose any weather to set up, it would be sand. I love using sand. But Tyranitar couldn't really get much going for him because just the meta right now isn't great. Because, of course, Urshifu's running around. Rillaboom can still be a threat here and there, but it was more so to do with Urshifu because of close combat stuff and being able to run through Protect and go ×4 weak to fighting. And Urshifu's very strong. It just wasn't fun. And Koraidon as well, for the most part, too. Being able to, take away your weather as well at the same time, which isn't fun. That's not fun. So, yeah, Tyranitar being back now that Urshifu's not going to be here, now that Koraidon's not going to be here, it's going to be very nice. It's going to be an amazing thing to see here. And Tyranitar, it's just great. Like, it's a very sturdy Pokemon. It can hit quite hard if you want it to. It can take a blow if you really want it to. This thing's cool. This thing's very, very cool. I like T-Tar. And the Terra Flying Terra Blast is going to make a comeback as well. Like, get ready for it. I'm one of my favorite Terra Blast Pokemon as well. Terra Flying, Terra Blast, Tyranitar is just going to be such a fun vibe to go for too. Then obviously we have Alolan Ninetales with the snow. I feel like Alolan Ninetales again is going to be quite nice here. We couldn't unfortunately use Alolan Ninetales just because it wasn't that great. Again, Koraidon having fire type moves and Calyrex just being too fast and other Pokemon being able to shut it down really quickly. Kyogre, I think, can run a bit slower than Ninetales, so that doesn't help it either. There was just not that many good things running for it, so it's unfortunate, but hey, we get it back now. And a lot of the times we can run Covert Cloak on Alolan Ninetales, which is quite nice. You can run things, so like you can run Covert Cloak. Light Clay can also be a good thing because you get Aurora Veil with Alolan Ninetales, meaning that you basically get Reflect and Light Screen in one shot as long as it's snowing. So as long as you get Weather Control and you get Aurora Veil, your team can run like a lot longer. Like, your team can run so much longer, and you run that with Light Clay, you're absolutely unstoppable. Like, if you can find a team that can sweep like almost immediately, you guys are unstoppable. It is absolutely insane. But yeah, Aurora Veil's gonna make a comeback. Like, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a lot of fun as well. And not even to mention that a lot of Ninetales can still hit like really, really hard as well, especially if you give it something like Choice Specs or a Life Orb as well. This thing can still hit pretty hard. Like, it's not that bad. It's got some nice moves here too besides Aurora Veil. You've got Dazzling Gleam here. You can set things up with Carmine if you really want to. You still have Foul Play. You got Freeze Dry, which is a really, really good ice type move. Of course, you have Blizzard. You've got Ice Beam. I think you have you've got Icy Wind. You've got Moon Blast. You can even run Nasty Plot if you want to go super offensive. Like, you've got really, really good movesets here. Like, this is really nice. Now, obviously, you have the Goldengo. We've mentioned Goldengo before, but I want to just put an emphasis on how much Goldengo is going to absolutely rock the it's absolutely going to dominate Regulation H again. But I think this is going to be, you know, public enemy #1. I think a lot of people are going to focus on Goldengo first and then kind of work on everybody else afterwards, because Goldengo, if you get this thing set up, you're not winning. Like, this thing is a threat. Life Orb, Nasty Plot, you've got Choice Specs and make it rain out of the gate. You've got Choice Scarf as well to make sure you outspeed everybody. Like, this thing can absolutely run. You can run Leftover Set if you want to make it like a little bit extra bulky. Yeah, this thing is going to love to hit everybody. And the fact that you've got good as gold as well, meaning you're immune to stasis moves, yeah, it's not great. Like, you've got a lot of things running for you, and not even outside of Make It Rain, you still have a lot of good moves here. You've got Power Gem, you still have Shadow Ball, you've got Thunderbolt, you've got Dazzling Gleam, you can still run Flash Cannon. You've got a lot of good moves here. Like, there's a really good amount of moves here. There was times where people would tech in Choice Scarf Trick, so if there's like a, you know, a Trick Room team, you could just trick one of the Trick Room Pokemon, like, so for example, something like a Torkoal, or something like a, what would be another one, something like a Hatterene. Give it the Choice Scarf and it's pretty much useless in Trick Room because it's just going to be faster than most Pokemon. It's quite insane. It's honestly quite insane, and I really do like this Pokemon. Like, Goldengo is going to be an absolute go. Goldengo is going to be absolutely goated, and I cannot wait to see Goldengo again. But being in mind, this thing most likely will be public enemy #1 to look at. Another Pokemon I want to kind of touch on here is Typhlosion. Now, Typhlosion is going to be really, really good in the sun. We've seen it paired up with things like, of course, Torkoal. We've also seen it paired up with Whimsicott, because Whimsicott can also set up Sunny Day thanks to Prankster. So there's a lot of good factors here that you can go for here, especially since Typhlosion is weak to Water and Dark, two typings that Whimsicott resist as well at the same time. So it's quite nice. It's a quite nice synergy there. So most times you would see like either a Choice Specs Terrafire Eruption if you've got Whimsy, or a Choice Scarf Terrafire Eruption if you've got Torkoal. You know, sometimes you might run a Focus Sash, but not likely. It's most likely one of the choice items, Choice Scarf or Choice Specs. Maybe a Life Orb if you're not running Eruption, but let's be real here, you are running Eruption. So there's a few good things you can kind of get going here. There's a few good things you can get going for Typhlosion, and I think that's absolutely fine. The only downside is the abilities though, because you've got Frisk, which in Open Team Sheet doesn't really do anything, and then Blaze, which is like, yeah, it's good because you get like a little bit of a power boost on fire attacks, but you need to be at like 1/3 of your HP, and Typhlosion isn't exactly the bulkiest Pokemon. Like, there's a lot of times where you can pretty much one-shot Typhlosion. It's not the best. It's not the best circumstance to come up against, but like, I guess Blaze would pretty much be your ability here. But you get a few good things as well. Like, yeah, you get Eruption, you get Fire Blast, Flamethrower, you get Heat Wave, you can run Infernal Parade if you really, really like to. So there's a few, you have a few options here. Obviously Overheat as well. You've got a few options. You have options here, especially with like things like Will-O-Wisp as well, if you don't want to run it offensively. Options. There's a lot of options for Typhlosion here, but I would honestly say the main thing would be to, you know, break walls down, Choice Specs with Tailwind, Terrafire, and then Eruption to just snag a KO. Or if you know you're going to be faster than the rest of your opponent's team, Sunny Day, Terrafire, Choice Specs, Eruption, and just try and delete everything in one shot. Like, Typhlosion is absolutely insane. It can be insane when it's set up correctly and it's in the right position. This thing can be absolutely insane. And then finally, the last one I want to talk about is Primarina. I really do like Primarina. I started to like Primarina a lot more thanks to VGC. And I really do like Primarina. I think Primarina is going to be an absolute threat here. There's a lot of ways you can do it with Primarina as well. You can run a Life Orb Primarina if you want it to be especially bulky, or if you want it to be especially powerful. You can run a Citrus Berry, you can run Leftovers, you can run Covert Cloak or Choice Specs. There's a lot of good things you can run with Primarina as well. Even Safety Goggles. Like, a Safety Goggles set would still be nice as well, because this thing gets shut down by Amoonguss quite, you know, horribly in this case. But there's a lot of things you can do. Liquid Voice is quite nice here because it turns things like Hyper Voice into a Water type move, which originally would be a Water type move. which originally would be a normal type move, sorry. So yeah, Liquid Voice is a really good ability as well. So you've got spread water damage, which is quite nice, because I think right now the only thing you have here is Surf, which hits your own team member. So being able to have that option to hit only your opponent's Pokemon with Hyper Voice and not hit your own with a water type move is quite nice as well. So yeah, you've got a few things as well. I think I also said Throat Spray as well. The Throat Spray as well being able to, you know, go in sync with Hyper Voice. So you would Hyper Voice, get +1, and then next turn on Hyper Voice, you should be able to take KOs here, which should be quite nice. Even if you don't want to use, you know, Hyper Voice, you've got Moonblast as well, but you have a lot of good other movesets as well. Alluring Voice is quite nice. Like, you've got Blizzard if you want to really run this in, you know, snow teams. I don't really know who's doing that, but you've got that there for you anyway. You got Dazzling Gleam, you've got Draining Kiss. It still runs like really good, you know, supporting moves as well, like Encore and Haze. Like, Haze is especially good, again, since we were talking about Dondozo earlier, being able to get that commander, or even things like Goldengo. Haze bypasses Goldengo's good as gold, so you still have that option there to reset everything, which is quite nice as well. Life Dew is great. You've got Perish Song if you really want to run Perish Song strats. There's a few things. There are a few things for Primarina, and I honestly cannot wait to see what happens here with Primarina 2. Like, this is going to be fun. This regulation is going to be absolutely fun, and I am so excited to use all these Pokemon again that have just been shut down thanks to restricted or just straight up power creep. This is going to be so much fun. But what do you guys think anyway of Regulation H? Let me know who you're excited to use again. Let me know what team you was thinking of using anyway. And of course, guys, let me know how you think about this video by leaving a like down below, and I'll see you guys hopefully in the next video. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all later. Okay, bye.